evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sarah Peterson, and today I'm presenting an award. At a young age of 6, this great adventurer caught his very first venomous snake, a common brown snake found in Australia. Kids his age would arrive to school late for many reasons, but his was that he had to make his mom stop the car so he could rescue animals off the road. By just 9 years old, he was fearlessly helping his dad catch crocodiles. After hearing about this story, I became inspired to have a similar outlook on life that Steve Irwin had, and I'm beyond honored to present him with a Conservationist Award. First, I'll make note of the accomplishments that fill the life of the crocodile hunter. Then, I'll make note of how his accomplishments have impacted others around him. And finally, I'll put the Conservationist Award into perspective and prove once and for all that Steve Irwin deserves this honor. Let's begin with talking about some of his greatest accomplishments. Ever since Steve Irwin was a young boy, he had sort of sixth sense when it came to wildlife, and he spent his entire life devoting himself to the mammal and amphibious creatures. We all know Steve Irwin for his show, The Crocodile Hunter, but not many know the background of how he rose to fame. After meeting and marrying the love of his life, Terry Baines, the two launched their television series. According to an article written by William J. Brown in 2010, Irwin quickly became an internationally known, promoting wildlife conservation through a highly entertaining program that featured Irwin's wrestling with crocodiles and chasing snakes into trees, rocks, and other hiding places. Together with his wife Terry, who became his co-producer, Irwin mesmerized, amused, and educated millions of television viewers for the next 14 years through his programs, films, and television specials broadcast on Discovery's Animal Planet. Many people know him for his TV show, but he actually accomplished much more than that, than just being a well-known worldwide sensation. One thing that many people do not know is that his family actually owned a zoo while he was growing up. At the age of 29, he took over managing the wildlife park and renamed it the Australia Zoo a few years later when his parents retired. Irwin's main priority in life was to take care of animals. According to the Encyclopedia of World Biographies, the Houston Chronicle released an interview in 2000 in which Irwin said, "What makes us tick, our gift to the world, is conservation. We eat, sleep, and live for conservation. That's what we're about, and that's what we're up to, and that's our game. We will die defending wildlife in wilderness areas. That's our passion." Running this zoo was his first passion, and taking care of the animals was always his number one thing to do. Sadly, in 2006, just 2 months after creating a 10-year plan for the zoo, Steve Irwin was killed doing what he loved most. The LA Times released an article on March 10, 2014, reflecting on this freak accident, saying that, according to Lyon's accounts, he and the 44-year-old Irwin were about 8 days into filming a series called Ocean's Deadliest when they found themselves in chest-deep water near Queensland, Australia. They came across a massive 8-foot wide stingray. Despite their impressive size, stingrays are normally docile creatures that do not pose a threat. But sadly, on this day, this was not the case. The animal, for whatever reason, felt threatened and stabbed Irwin in the heart with the barb, creating a fatal wound. Steve Irwin's death was mourned worldwide, but his legacy will live on forever. After going through this, we can talk about how he impacted those around him because of his accomplishments. Steve Irwin, through his love of animals and the environment, has greatly impacted others. The New World Encyclopedia stated it well, saying, "Irwin was passionate conservationist and believed in promoting environmentalism by sharing his excitement about the natural world rather than preaching it to the people." Steve did all he could to try and preserve different forms of wildlife all around the world. He bought tracts of land all over the world and stressed the importance of people realizing that they could each make a difference. He purchased land so that they could act as national park-type properties where nature could thrive without the danger of being destructed by ever-growing cities. This has greatly impacted people because he calls us to not partake in the activities that can harm nature or wildlife. Another huge impact Steve Irwin had on others was the charity he created, originally called the Steve Irwin Conservation Foundation, but later changed to the Wildlife Warriors Worldwide. The goal of the organization, according to the official website, is to be the most effective wildlife conservation organization in the world through the delivery of outstanding outcome-based programs and projects inclusive of humanity. The charity was founded in 2002 and still continues today. And with the help of his children, Irwin's legacy lives on through the zoo and charitable works. After going through what he has done in his life and why it has impacted many, let's go through exactly why he should receive this award. Steve Irwin deserves this award because he had put so much work in to protect the environment and the animals of not only his own country, but the world. According to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, a conservationist is someone who works to protect animals, plants, and natural resources, or to prevent the loss of waste of natural resources. This award obviously can go to no one else but Steve Irwin, based off of his entire life goals and accomplishments. Steve Irwin lived his whole life selflessly, devoting it to the protection and well-being of the animal kingdom. Whatever money he made doing what he loved, he put right back into helping the animals and caring for them. He was a passionate conservationist and deserves this honor more than anyone else. Now that we have seen the monumental life and impact of Steve Irwin, let's conclude. I informed you of the accomplishments that fill Irwin's life, and I explained how his accomplishments have impacted others, and I showed you why he deserves this honor. I'll leave you with a quote from this great man. He said, "I have a message for my fans. Whatever you want to do in this world, it is achievable. The most important thing that I found that perhaps you could use is be passionate and enthusiastic in the direction that you choose in life, and you'll be a winner." Oh, crikey, it's a brown bear. Let's go touch it.